Hey guys, it's Tom. Today we're gonna take a look at my African aquarium. I'm a tortoise guy. Why am I building an aquarium? What the heck? Let's talk about it. If you've been with me a long time, you know I got this 100-gallon acrylic aquarium for quite the deal about a year ago. So here it is. Here's what I'm working on, this giant acrylic aquarium that I bought for $100. I've made this completely custom stand. I've gotten mopani wood and rocks. I've got my light. I've got tools. I've got my heater. And I've got my filter. I've also got this giant tortoise room to take care of. So, you know, what gives? Why am I making this giant aquarium? It's pretty simple. I'm a biologist. I'm a conservationist. That's what I do in my day job. I'm the curator of a botanical garden. I explore the world and find new and interesting plants, learn about their biology, learn about their, what's threatening their existence, and I try to protect them. And because I've taken an interest in Hingeback tortoises, Africa is really the place that is interesting to me. I want to learn as much about Africa as I can, specifically where these Hingeback tortoises live that I keep. What I've done is to create habitats with the plants that live in tropical Africa. I can learn about the ecosystem. I can learn about the geology. I can learn about the people. I can learn about the culture. And then we can all make better decisions on how to conserve these wild places. Because without the wild places, guys, we have nothing. Nothing in herpetoculture, nothing in turtle keeping matters unless we are dedicated to the conservation of these animals in the wild. That is why I'm building this giant aquarium. Why? Because it helps me understand the aquatic systems in tropical Africa. I can research the Congo River. I can research the mangrove deltas. I can understand what is it about these systems that are threatened. Then I can begin to learn and ask questions and maybe start to find some answers. Who are the conservation groups that are helping these species in the wild? What are the risks to the habitat? Why are they threatened? What can we do here? Which conservation organizations can we support or send money to help protect these habitats? If we understand them better, if we know the plants and animals that live in these habitats, we are gonna be wanting to save them in the wild. And I don't want any turtle keeper to lose touch of that. We have to protect, conserve wild spaces and wild turtles. That is our main job. That is our main job. Everything else is secondary. Now, the Congo River is an incredibly diverse ecosystem. There are over 10,000 species of plants alone, 400 mammal species, 1,000 different bird species, and 700 fish species. I will be starting out simply with the commonly available Congo tetra, which can be found widely distributed across the Congo Basin, and dwarf cichlid from Nigeria called the rainbow crib. And here's the gravel we'll be using. Got it at Lowe's. It's from Quikrete. And then for an accent, we'll be using these river pebbles to make it look natural. Now, Brody did an amazing job washing this gravel, and I paid him for it because it was gonna be like $100 for gravel. Look at that, it came out really nicely. Okay, 1 bucket of gravel in. Start with the back. We want it sloped from the back to the front. We have 2 more buckets. Here's bucket number 2. That's pretty good for small rocks, and I'm gonna put this piece of red granite right in here, this little spot. Let's see how it looks. I love it, absolutely love it. We're replicating the bottom of a river, those big, smooth rocks, and The Mopani wood is sandblasted. That helps recreate that worn look that a log would have if it were in a stream in tropical Africa. Oh, I love this tank. So excited.
We're using different size gravel pebbles to replicate nature. The river will sort the sand and gravel into different sizes, and having all one size just makes it look fake.
So there we go. That's our base set up. We need plants now. I'm not sure if I'm gonna order some, go buy some right now, or what. But I'm pumped. Okay guys, here's the light. Got that from Amazon. I forget the brand. And then boom, look at this tank. Boom. Oh yeah. This is gonna be so cool. Okay, bro, what do you think?
It's good. A few improvements, but it's overall pretty good.
So like what are some of the improvements I could make?
Terracotta pots.
Yeah.
Layouts, floaters, that type of stuff.
Yeah. I decided to go with the order the plants option. And I got Anubias. I got species Anubias. Heat pack. Still hot. Yeah. Nice and warm. Not an insulated box though. Wow. Small. Buse plant, if that's how you pronounce it. I got a giant one. Kind of all wrapped up. And then 6 sort of smaller ones. So here's the biggest one, Heterophila. It was described as a mother plant, which means it's huge. So looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4 separate plants. I'm gonna tease those apart and look for places to put them over here on the scape. So it's coming along. Kind of hard to film and scape. But in some of these places I'm just gonna wedge the epiphyte in. And I've had pretty good success with that method. You know, the plants themselves don't appear to have grown in this wall. Although, maybe I'm wrong about that. There we go. See, they just sort of, I mean, maybe. They just kind of come out of that rock wool. And then I squish them in place. Well, I poured a little bit of water in. I'm huffing and puffing though, so I'm gonna stop and Birdie's gonna take over.
So guys, I was really sick when I was doing this. I actually got pneumonia, believe it or not.
Well, we are filling this tank up, man. Oh my gosh. Birdie did an amazing job with washing that gravel. Excellent job, bro. Oh man, this is gonna be awesome. It's the next morning and we have encountered a problem. Yes, look at that. One of the pieces of Mopani decided to float. I just assumed that Mopani was a very dense wood and it would all sink. That is not the case. You'll also notice, yeah, there's a little bit of yellow in there from that tannins. Those tannins leaching out of the Mopani wood. So, you know what? Not everything goes how you plan it. The other thing I think is incredibly interesting is that pattern that the bubbles form on the acrylic. Isn't that really interesting? Distinct stripes all across the tank. I don't know what that's about. I have to think it's somehow involved with how the acrylic is made, but really, really weird. And I kept a lid on the tank just to keep things nice and humid in there. So we're filling this up, watering can by watering can. The kids are helping a lot. I'm still pretty sick, guys, but I can talk at least. So we'll keep you updated.
So in the end, I went on like 17 days of antibiotics and finally got better.
A little bit at a time, we keep getting there. And you know what? I think I figured out what these lines are from. Each one of these lines represents a bucket of water that we added. And for some reason, the bubbles are just sticking to that water line. Kind of crazy. I have a feeling there might be some kind of, well, I know there's a film on the water, and maybe when that sits there like that, that leaves some kind of residue that the bubbles adhere to. Not sure, but pretty exciting.
So I'm not really sure why I love this part so much, but I used a Sichi whale filter, the 500 canister filter. It's quite a big filter, and it has this little mini pump on it that you have to use to fill the whole system up with water, and it's just super fun. I don't know why. There's just something fun about pumping water with a little mini hand pump. The last piece of hardware that I'm going to add is this Aquarium Pro 300 watt heater. This thing is svelte, man. Look at that. That's going to be hidden. So even though I love this filter, you'll notice that there's a towel wrapped around it because honestly, I messed up a little bit. So to start with, I actually switched the input and the output tubes. I attached those 2 weeks before I tried it, and that was bad. It just wouldn't work. So make sure you get the in and out correctly. Once I figured that out, everything worked really good, and I really like the filter. We're just gonna put it in, attach it. But the big question is, will this actually heat this giant tank to the temperature that I need it, which is the upper 70s? And quite frankly, I'm not sure if it's going to be able to do that. I might have to have 2 heaters. My basement is cold. In the winter, it's only about 60 degrees down here. Look at that thing. I mean, man, that's a great heater. Fortunately, I was able to get things hot enough. It is the next morning, and we are going to see how the heater is working. Temperature of the water, please. 72. 72.8. I'd like to be like around 77, 78. Let's give it some more time. Okay, so we do have some murky water. It doesn't look too bad from this side, and you know, if I lower the exposure, it doesn't look like a problem at all. But I'll raise it up. You can see the water's murky, and we want it clear. Why is it murky? Probably from the gravel. And I think it would eventually clear, but we bought a chemical to help clear the water up. Enter API AccuClear. We're gonna put 10 milliliters of that in here and see what happens. Just happen to have it right here. You can see the chemical going in. Can you see it better? Oh yeah, look at that. Maybe I'll set up a timer.
check on the clarity. It's cleared up a little bit, but it's still kind of cloudy. So we'll see how things look tomorrow. And we might decide to put more in. Let's also do a temperature check. More than 24 hours after installing the heater. Let's see what we've got. 73 degrees, so probably we're gonna involve a new heater. I've got it set to like 78 and it doesn't seem to be able to get that hot. So it's been about a week since I really figured out that I needed to get filter floss and use a heck of a lot of the API Aqua Clear product. I think that's what it's called. And now what you can see is that I have this gunk that's just accumulating on the sides of the glass. So we need to get rid of that. And today I'm going to test all the parameters of the water to see where we are, because I think we are close to being able to add fish. Here are the first 3 fish that will be going in the tank. They are Crebensis pelviochromis pulcher. That's a female. She's looking mighty fat. Here's the male close up, and then in the back there's another female, and that's actually the mom to a lot of the babies that we have. And now, here come the Congo tetras. It's fascinating that there's 700 fish in the Congo, and there's like a handful of them that are commonly available in the aquarium trade. And the Congo tetra might be the most famous. Some of the other ones are like the African butterfly fish and the African rope fish. But those Congo tetras and the cribs probably are 2 of the most common African species. And quite frankly, they're just a joy. The Congo tetras will get a lot bigger, while these cribs are full size. The male is on the left, the female was on the right, they just reversed. The female is actually chasing the male. The Congo tetras are a schooling fish. Right now they're only about an inch, but the males can get up to almost 5 inches. There's lots of other species of Congo tetras too. Dozens, in fact, but they're mostly collected from the wild. And I would love to have some of these one day, but they are quite pricey. So to start with, the Congo tetra, the rainbow crib, will be the main fish in this aquarium.